Bienvenidos. We're back in the man cave with the antlers and the toddler easel, but we're working through it the best we can. Yay! This is the present progressivo. We're going to talk through some of this today together and my notes so that hopefully it best guide you. Again, call me, email me, send me a text. We'll work through it. I promise. Okay? So, amigos, this note page is super helpful. We're talking about the present progressive. I want to talk about two things quickly. It is two things. You, in fact, are going to need to know it works with the star, and they're conjugated for you right here. Look at that. Plus, it's going to do a gerund. The present participle is a fancy word for the gerund. Essentially, friends, that's the ing form of a verb to tell that we're doing something in the present, what's going on right now. So, some things that you need to take note of, and I'm sorry, teacher move, you just need to memorize them, are the fact that your IR verbs are going to take a modified vowel mutation / stem change. Sorry, you guys like stem change. My juniors like vowel mutation. Okay. So, we are going to do this. This is the regular stem change that they would take. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. I'm so sorry. But then that second vowel is going to indicate to you that it is what's going to happen in the gerund. Do you need to know that? Yeah, I guess, but just memorize them. It's so much easier to just memorize them. And here are the ones that you would want to memorize. Why do we do this? It's a Romance language. We want it to sound pretty. So, for example, we wouldn't say, viniendo. It's viniendo, okay? That's why it's going to take a modified mutation there / stem change you guys like because of the sound. Something kind of crazy happens, and that's what all this junk down here is. That's what Senora's notes are. When your infinitive ends in an ER or an IR, and the stem or the base ends in a vowel, we are going to change that I from iendo to a Y to avoid like this crazy looking formation here. Okay, so the verbs that do this are going to be like leer, caer, traer, and oír. Okay, so just take note of that. Once we have that page as a resource, let's take a look at the homework. I'm so sorry. I will take a phone class when we get back to school, I promise. Okay, so I gave you answers to all the odds. I sat in on enough of Mrs. Manilaki's math classes to know that she does examples like this. I thought maybe it would be helpful because I love her and you guys are the best. So, nosotros estamos viendo la televisión. I want to call attention to two things here. You are going to have to realize that we need a form of a star. A star is going to work with your verb to together form, sorry, you can't see that, together to form the present progressive. This is what my notes are trying to tell you. So right here we have a star. That's going to tell us the number in person. That tells us the who of the present progressive. And then the gerund, that ando or your yendo, that tells us the what. It tells us the action. So these two, this plus sign, this isn't optional. These guys are a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you smush together. You can't separate them. You can't break them up, okay? So we have nosotros for the first one. And then I'm showing the who by conjugating a star to estamos, and it's right here. And then, based on the fact that I'm making you go straight across, we're going to say ver la televisión. Ver looks irregular, but it's not. It's going to be drop the ER, like I walk you through down here. You're going to drop the ER and then add the iendo. So, estamos viendo. For number 2, you're going to write la profesora. La, Senora's going to, take a shortcut and write prof. We need to conjugate for the who. We'll look down here. A star tells us the who. It's going to be third person singular. So, la profesora está. Okay? And then take a look at the verb, jugar. It's an AR verb. We don't need to worry about any of those crazy vowel mutations / stem changes. Sorry, guys. I can see Jordan and like Vinny cringing when I'm saying this. We're going to say jugando, right? Because it's a regular ANDO verb, okay? So, está jugando. Thank you, Bryn. I'm sorry, I have a helper over here on the other side. We're going to work through it. Okay. Número 4, mi abuelo. So, we'll write mi abuelo. Good job, Bryn. we're going to conjugate a star to tell us the who. So take a look at the chart here, third singular. Mi abuelo está. And then let's take a look here. I'm making straight across. You're going to have to use escribir. So it's an ER verb. It would be escribiendo. Escribiendo. If you're like, how did she get that? And there's an I there, I promise. I would take escribir. I'm going to drop the ER from it, and I'm going to add this IENDO, okay? I have faith that you can do the last one by yourself. Adios, amigo.